Hello world, it's Let's Sip and Talk with Prima, and today we're going to be discussing a topic that a lot of individuals probably don't feel too comfortable discussing, but again, this is open discussion. We're here just to give our opinions. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to Hubbard's Rental for allowing me and sponsoring this great scenery for me to use, and then also great thanks to Nicole. She sponsors some wine space, so kudos to you guys. So let's get started. I'll introduce the panelists. We have here Joseph A. Simmons. He's retired from the military, a personal trainer, and a life coach. He's working on his physical therapy degree and will be opening a gym life training facility. He has a daughter and a son, and he looks forward to having this great discussion today. Welcome aboard. We also have Latrice Washington here. And next to Latrice, we have Sarah Haygood. She's a licensed practical nurse and a mother of one. And I'm your host. So, today's topic. Why do women, and some people say black women, feel some type of way when men date outside their race? So, I'm going to start. So, the way I see it is, I don't feel no type of way if men date outside their race. I see no color. However, and I'm pretty good at contradicting myself through these discussions, I noticed myself saying like, let me see, can I use it as an example? Well, I don't know, let's say a rich black guy, and then he marries a white woman. I honestly have said like, why would he go and do that when, he can date a black girl or a black woman? I mean, that's just the way I thought in the past, and I have said it, but honestly, I see no color, so I don't know if that even makes sense, to what I'm saying. Like, why would I say it? Because he has, as a slang word, money. But if there's any Tom or Joe on the street, it wouldn't bother me. Anybody want to start? How do y'all feel about that? Just in general, about men dating outside their race.
Well, in general, it's not a big prejudice or actually throwing slam at another race, but being in, I would say, bondage or slavery for so long as being an African American, you would expect that our black men would actually pretty much indulge and patronize us versus another race to have us to come, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see, I don't know, but I guess you can't know who you were attracted to.
Yeah, but you gotta take the time to love the black man first. You just pick somebody out, he's black. I know we put down a lot. We put down 60% about how bad.
Right.
But that was a governmental thing, not us.
I mean, but at the same time, we have to understand our black men has failed us on multiple occasions, and I hate to take it there.
Black people
And-
fail black women, we can take out of us. And as far as, welfare, black men can never see no way. So that's about somebody else taking you up and leaving somebody else behind. You should have reached back when you came up, but you kept on going.
So, okay,
So now it's so far into the future that you can't even see what happened.
but why do we have to look at what happened in the beginning when we're living in present day, like we're living in now?
That's like now you're thinking about slavery.
Anybody else want to?
Say that.
Sarah, how do you feel? As being another race, and we're having this conversation.
As being a white woman,
Okay.
I would judge anyway. From my point of view, like what I hear, if I date outside, well, I do date outside my race, they like me because I'm naive or I'm biased or I'm complacent and they don't argue, which isn't the case. I mean,
Right, that's just what we
people
probably
would
think.
completely disagree. But that's what is, I think we put everybody into a box. Like the black woman's loud and she's angry and she's this and
But I
that,
don't
and that's
believe
because society put into a
I
box.
don't believe it.
And I think white women are kind of put into that box, and black men that are, date white women are in that box. And it's not only they date white women or Hispanic women or black women, because once they date that outside of their race, they're labeled as now they've left y'all and they've came to us. Just like with white women, if I go out on a date with a white man and he finds out I have a mixed child, then, oh no, she only likes, it's like wearing a scarlet letter sometimes.
We always stereotype, you know what I'm saying? But in the same token, when it comes to the independent black woman to a male, they feel like we're not. It's like
Difficulties, I apologize.
We'll go to commercial.
Are we good? We do apologize. But while we're straightening that out, don't forget to follow my YouTube channel. Can y'all hear me? Are we good? Y'all hear me out there? We do apologize for the technical difficulties. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope we can finish where we left off at. You were saying something, Therese. My apologies.
No, I was saying that we are a stereotype, but in the same token, when it comes to a black female versus a white female and our men,
Mm-hmm.
a white woman would do more than us pertaining, not being stereotyped, but say for instance in that relationship, say for instance that, what's your name, sir? Mr. Joey, and you were in a relationship, and that he and I dated, but he didn't pretty much cater to me because he wasn't able to control me. But in the same token, he comes to you, he can have you to say, say whenever, do whatever, when he wants.
But I think that's at that box. Like, that's not all white women and that's not all black women. I know plenty of black women that put up with tons of shit.
That you wouldn't put up with.
Just because it's not like out there
Right.
and put out there, just because you're a strong black woman or I'm a strong white woman, doesn't mean that you're gonna be like, nope, you don't treat me right, so I'm leaving now and I'm gonna be like, oh, let me lay down and die while you treat me like this. I don't think it works like that. I think the level of just the woman's mind frame, because a lot of women, I mean, I feel like everybody has a different level of bullshit
Right.
that they deal with. Like, some people only deal with this much, some people deal with this much. Doesn't matter what kind of social climbing they're on. But in the same aspect, like, you say you're a strong black woman, so if I deal with a little bit more from a black man than you would, then I think that's like a box of, oh, well, that's why they're with them, because they're not as strong as us.
Yeah, it's
But in the same token, another strong black woman is dealing with more than what I've already dealt with.
Right.
And nobody says, well, you're not strong anymore. You can just go right over there. Because they don't look them like that. They feel more pity towards them instead of like being biased against them, I think.
Joe look like you want to say something. You shaking your head.
But I think it's all about, each race feels abandoned when you see that. I mean, the first action is like, there's plenty of sisters that look way better than that. Why would you do that? But, it's the same thing with every race. They feel abandoned.
It's just who you're attracted to, though, at the end of the day. And I don't know if we can say we feel abandoned or each race should feel abandoned. I mean, then go out there and get you that white man or that Italian or that Mexican or whoever you want.
To talk across the races like that, it takes a lot.
Someone from the audience has a question. Excuse me.
Well, actually, I have more of a statement.
Okay.
Me personally, I don't have any issue with dating outside the race. But when it comes to a black woman, I find it to be more difficult for us to attract the opposite race.
Why do you feel that way?
Because the majority of the white men, Italian men, what have you, don't look at us as fast as a black male may look at a white female. So I find it to be more difficult. I have no problem dating outside my race, but the problem is when you're out there, it's like the pool is smaller for us.
I don't know.
Hey, I agree with her. Because all the negative connotations have been put on black women, it's hard. When other person see you, they think of things that you're not even thinking about.
Right.
And that's exactly right, because we're automatically put into this pool to where she has a nasty attitude, she's too strong-headed, she's independent, she's not going to want to hear anything you have to say. But then you have to look at, I have no
Literally.
choice
Yeah.
but to be the strong
Right.
individual because of the situation I was put in.
That's right.
So if I don't, I'm gonna sink. But
That's
then
right.
the next black man will automatically say she has this nasty attitude, or I'm not gonna talk to her because look at her face expression, or they always think
But I
all
think
black women popping their necks and
But I think that's
snapping
more
their
of
fingers. But
cues in your atmosphere.
no,
Because not all black men are that way.
but the
I have no
majority
fear
are,
of
and
black
I
men
work
at
in
all.
the corporate world, and a lot of the males look at me like, but you never sit down and have
That's
a
who they are.
conversation with me.
Is it because they don't feel as highly of themselves? Is that why
I
they
think a
feel
lot of
intimidated?
them, I think a lot of them may be feel intimidated, especially when you hold a higher standard, especially in the corporate world. They automatically feel you have this nasty attitude, so they automatically come to you with their guards up, thinking that you're ready to shut them down automatically. And that's not the case. With me, business, I separate business from personal. I have no problem cooking and washing his clothes and everything. However, if you're not bringing at least 50 to 60% in the household, I'm not doing it. Why should I have to go out there and bust my tail and work, take care of kids, pay bills and everything, if you're not bringing that percentage that you need to bring in the household? I'm not.
Well, same token, then why should a rich black man, as you said, take on you when you don't have even 10% of the household?
But see, you just misunderstood what I said. I said
No, I
I
heard
have
you
no
say
problem
that. Yeah.
doing it.
You have no problem
But
doing
if
it,
he's
but
not bringing in what he needs to bring in, and I have no choice but to go out there and work one or two jobs, 12 to 16 hours a day, what makes you think I'm gonna come home and cook to make sure you eat if you're not helping me?
then you're choosing the wrong person. That's all I'm saying.
My point exactly. However,
However,
we're still put in the same category because they see us out there working and putting our foot down of what we're not gonna deal with.
yeah, but that's not all black. I
No,
know
but
none of my
it's
friends
just
black
like it's
men
not
are.
all black women, but we still get put in there.
Yeah,
Sound like
but
somebody
us.
else.
Yeah.
That's not all black. That's not all black men.
That's what I'm
For
saying.
the, for the simple fact, in my opinion, what the number one thing that women want in a relationship to start off with is love. The main thing men want is respect
Exactly.
in a relationship. You don't
Okay.
care whether you white, black, pink,
Black,
orange, or gray.
blue, whatever.
That's
You know?
Exactly.
So you whatever, if you black, you give him that respect, especially if he deserves it. I'm not talking
Right.
about some deadbeat individual that don't deserve the respect, or some deadbeat woman that don't,
Right.
deserve his love. But by still at the same token, those two things right there is the most important thing, in my opinion, for a female is love, and for a man is respect and then love.
And
So,
to piggyback off of that, and I could be wrong. I'm not a counselor or anything like that. But so if women are looking for love, kind of in the beginning, and men are looking for respect, so now you have that man that falls off on showing her love, and then that leads for us to be. Well, like you said, I'm not washing clothes, I'm not cooking. So now the respect isn't there, but we still tend to stay together in this toxic relationship instead of one leaving if the respect is gone or if the love is gone. So why do we then just try to make it work if
But then
it's
that
not going to
question
work?
is, did you really respect them in the beginning?
That's my point. But if I don't feel like he loves me and show me he's loved me, then I mean,
But
maybe he didn't love me in the beginning.
Can I follow up?
Sure.
Please. Well, I mean, after the respect is put in there, or after the love is put in there, whichever one comes first for each couple, then of course, no relationship is going to be peachy keen.
Right.
After that, then there comes the challenge of maintaining it.
That's right.
Because anything you do, whether getting a job, relationship, anything you do, the easy part of it is getting it. The hard part is maintaining it.
Maintaining it.
that's right.
So if both of y'all feel that nobody hit boundaries, that you just have to depart, then work on that thing. Now, if you have the other side that they don't want to put in that and maintain that, then you have a problem.
That's right.
If the other part don't want to put in, then you might need to depart. Everyone in this room knows the challenge of anything is maintaining it. Getting it is the easy part. Money, relationship, anything. And that's my opinion.
Do we have someone that?
Yes, we have someone on Facebook, Miss Chrissy Adams. It's not that white men are not attracted to you. They see you as a strong woman and are more intimidated. If you were to approach him, you would be surprised how many are very attracted to another race.
Okay, that.
Okay. I would like to respond to that.
Okay.
The issue is it goes back years and years. How do we know if they're racist or not? I mean,
I guess you won't know unless
seriously.
you go approach.
And I speak, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? You know, and they'll speak or whatever. But if you don't give me no eye contact, I'm not moving.
If they don't show no type of interest in
attraction
you
or
or
interest, yes.
And one thing we know is, white woman, black woman, purple woman can't speak for a white man.
right.
Exactly.
So unless a white man say, hey, I feel this way, they just talking inside of their neck. Because they don't know what they gonna feel when they see them.
That's
How
true.
you gonna respect them?
I feel like you won't know unless you ask. You won't know unless you approach. And if he's not interested, if he's racist, if he's whatever, he's gonna say, no, I'm not interested.
I've had
You don't think they will?
He
Listen,
don't
I
I don't think a lot of
friend-
women do approach men on that level, period.
But
Like, I
look.
mean, yeah, we might throw out the signals, but they, like she says, if they don't give it back,
Back then.
I mean, we just kind of keep it moving. We're not, I mean, unless you're very, confident and straightforward like that. I mean, but a lot of women aren't. A lot of women will throw out those signals, but I mean,
So
they're not
they
going to
catch
go
it.
full blown just to get rejected.
Right.
If you don't give something back, regardless of your race, I
Yeah,
mean,
then I'm not going to proceed.
Now, it hasn't happened to me, but it happened to one of my best friends. She was actually dating outside her race, a white guy. However, when it came to them coming out to a function,
Family.
yes, he didn't want his family to know.
That's right.
So
Then
he
I don't
had
see how that's
invited
going to work.
her.
Period.
And they've been together for a year.
That's Orangeburg, period. That's, I mean, South Carolina, period, a lot. I mean, unless you go to like Gaston or Pillion, where, I mean, that's all that is.
Yeah.
I was amazed by that. Like, Orangeburg, it's hush hush. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I'll smash a white girl, but I mean, I ain't taking her out nowhere. Like, that's.
Wow, I
That's
never knew
really
that.
bad. Like, but now if I go to Gaston or Pillion, that's, for them to be dating a black woman is odd. Not for them to be dating a white woman. White woman, that's everyday culture there. But in Orangeburg and other areas, no, it's not. Honestly, if you go out on dates or if you date someone, like you have to ask them, like, you ever dated a white woman?
Right.
Are you comfortable? Because you have to be
You have to
comfortable.
know.
You have to be strong in what you feel and who you are as a person. Because those side eye looks, the comments, everything else, they're coming.
And more from the family than people outside. They can take the people outside, but when the family start jabbing you every time they see you,
Could the relationship still work even though the family is not supportive?
if you stay away from the family.
Yes.
So like, do I have to choose now? Like, okay, I can't deal with my family
Most of
because
the time.
I want to be with him.
But it
So
depends
I
on
have to
how
choose.
close you are with your family.
That's
Like,
right.
I'm not there. I'm originally from North Dakota, so all my family's there.
There.
They're not here. But, I mean,
Are they
At
supportive
first-
from a distance?
at first, no. I mean, they weren't. But, I mean, now, my brothers have, not black and white kids, but
Right.
Hispanic and white kids, and now it's became a little bit norm
Right.
and everything else. But, I mean, no, that wasn't the culture where I came from either. And I mean, and I understand that here too a lot, especially with the older, I don't understand it so much in the younger generation.
Right.
I really don't. But the older generation, I mean, I get it. Like that is, they dealt with stuff that
We
we've
didn't.
never seen or
Right.
never will deal on that degree for the most part. So I mean, I get their opinions and I just have to respect their
Right,
opinions.
right.
But like for the younger generations and stuff, no, I mean, you kind of have to have an open mind to it. But if you don't, if they're close with their family, no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not going to work. I wouldn't feel any type of way if one of my kids bring home another race. I mean, that's just me. I wouldn't feel any type of way.
I would.
Why?
Why? Because from past experiences, it depends on the person and the family. One of my other friends, he was dating a white girl. When the family found out, she hollered rape, and he ended up on probation.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. So
I guess
mean,
they
it's
know
like
how to
being
See where you would be
scared.
cautious
Right.
of that situation.
Exactly.
That's why you
So I
ask
need to
questions.
ask questions.
Yes.
If I find out, I'm contacting parents. I want to talk to parents. I want to know, and if not, then you need to cut that relationship loose.
But I think that's with any race nowadays.
Yeah.
Like you need to I mean, just like when we grew up as kids, you slept over at people's house, you know, ran amok. Your parents didn't even know where you were until streetlights came on. But nowadays, like, you have to call those parents. You have to hang out with the parents before your kid is even going to the birthday party where
Right.
you feel comfortable dropping them off.
Right.
You have to see how they parent and do all of that. So it's just like if your son brought home a white girl, I mean, I understand the hesitation because
But I,
of past
see,
experience.
I don't think that's so much.
But I don't
racism.
believe, you would have to put her in a
That's
complete
it,
box. I
period.
didn't get
Yeah.
the black girl
It's
did
not
that to them and
necessarily
did
put
the same thing.
in a box, but
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
was
not-
more leery because of the past experiences that I've experienced and I've seen.
Would you be leery of black women then? So if, say, a black woman.
I'm leery with the female
Oh,
period. with
now,
my
okay
boys.
then I don't
But
think
it's
it's
a
a
little
race
bit
thing.
more,
Right.
yeah, but it's a little bit more with, because I don't know how the parents may react.
That's true.
Because they might have a different reaction, versus, black parents.
I mean, but at the end of the day, if your son's bringing home a white girl or bringing home any girl at that point, like, I think parents should meet each other at that point anyways. Like, if
Yeah,
you're
but
coming
some-
over to my house and this
But
is
you
my
know,
girlfriend.
Some children don't tell everything, especially when they have their own little cars
Of
they sneak
course.
around.
But you know, when it comes to that, at the end of the day, and your child's an adult, you can't help who they like or fall for.
Right.
And so with that, it comes communication because you know how you rear your child, but in the same token, you don't know the backgrounds from the other person.
Exactly.
So it comes from the older generations. And those young kids, they don't care about that, so they're going to sneak off and go experiment. And then they end up, you know, with your child or whatever, then you have to deal with that. But if they communicate and have respect and love for each other, then, you know, I could accept that. And, you know, anybody else that didn't like it would be, oh, well, you know, as long as my child was happy.
Right, right. I think that's fair. So how do y'all feel about pulling to kind of steer it somewhere else? Y'all comfortable with that? All right, Teresa, if you want to pull, anybody just want to shake it up and pull, we're just going to steer it somewhere else. Just to, keep it going, keep it interesting.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Can you fake it until you make it in a marriage?
Yeah. Can you fake it until you make it in a marriage?
You
But
can-
how do you gonna make it? I mean, how do you know if you're gonna make it? You're just gonna fake it forever?
No,
You
not
take it to
until
the
you
level,
make it,
yeah.
and not fake it forever. Just until you understand who that person is, who you're with, how you can be more prominent to them.
Wouldn't you know all that before you say I do?
No.
I mean, wouldn't you know some sort of?
You know some, but as people go through their lives, they change. Nobody stays the same.
That's
You're
true.
not the same. You
That's
go
very
20,
true.
you got some 30.
I mean, but that's marriage in general. Like, I mean, everybody changes, everybody evolves.
Right.
You have to figure out if you still love or like the person that's involved. They involved
That's
with
right.
you.
So you gotta
Like,
fake it till you make it.
You don't fake it.
Yeah,
No, you don't
I'll
fake
tell
it.
you.
Because the fact
That
is,
works.
if love is there, you can go through a whole lot of, you know, trials and tribulations,
And that's
and
not faking it.
you still gonna be there. No, it's not faking it because I know people who've gone through hell and fire, and they're still together because they love that person.
I know, but they had to fake it through that.
No,
hell
they
and
love
love
high.
it, but they love it.
They
That
had
is
because they had plenty of arguments, and
You
you
got a
know.
chance to talk, so I can
Yeah.
say something back to her.
Look. Go ahead.
That sounds more like a business deal to me. You just,
Well,
when you getting into that relationship, you're just focusing on what that person can do for you or what that person can help add to your
but see,
life.
it's not
And
about when
then
you
the
first
love
get
may
in.
come along later. I'm talking about the question.
So
that's what it
That
is.
goes back to that question, are you marrying for stability
That's right.
or for love?
And we've had that conversation.
And I'm marrying for
before.
stability.
I'm
going
marrying
forward.
for stability,
Yes.
and love will come afterwards. But however, in my situation, the love came and stability is there. But I feel if I don't feel comfortable in knowing that that person has my back,
Then
No.
then you don't have anything.
I think you want to say something.
I just wanted to ask, the question is kind of a loaded question. though.
It is. It can go in
I
any
mean,
direction.
When you say fake it until you make it, isn't that kind of miserable?
Yes, you
That's
know.
how I feel.
Who, is the woman faking it or is the guy faking it? Which one?
I feel like it should be
Depends
fake.
on-
Which,
Depends on which
It
one.
should be
yeah,
fake.
I mean,
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
would
listen.
wanna live like, I mean,
Somebody
It depends on how long you've been in a relationship, right?
uh,
Because
I
if
don't
I just
think
came in a
time should
relationship,
matter.
time does matter.
It's when you're looking at a relationship or that person or what they can do for you, love will come later on.
Exactly.
That means you're getting into it for all the
Wrong
wrong
reasons.
reasons.
Wrong reasons.
If you're
That's the
faking
way
it
I
to
look
make
at
it
it.
before
Faking
you
it
actually
before
say
you
I
make it.
do,
Yeah.
you have a problem from the beginning.
Exactly.
I mean, when
Those
you're
are us.
married,
It takes
yeah,
time.
everybody, ain't no marriage, very few can say that at some point they ain't fake it till they make
That's
it.
right. It
Like,
happens all the time.
you didn't go out into public and smile, or you didn't post your
Okay,
happy
looking
Facebook
at it that
photos,
way, yes.
and our marriage is great, and we are happy, and so
And
on
no,
and
we
so
don't.
forth, but when you home, no, you ain't happy.
And
You
some of us
arguing.
can't fake it until we make it. Me and my husband used to argue, and I'm the one being public. See, Jada, and everybody would know that there was a problem between us. Yes, ma'am.
I know I was married. I'm not, technically I'm still married. However, we're not together.
Same here.
But I can relate because I kept a lot of problems on the inside to myself. So everybody from the outside and even friends never knew the deep stuff, and I was pretty much faking it. Just because I didn't want nobody to know.
Oh.
I didn't want to feel like I was stupid or whatever. But then you get tired of it.
Right.
And when I got tired of it, that's when I ended up leaving. So you can't fake it forever.
You can't.
That's how I feel.
But sometimes when you have a situation where you can speak to someone or just come out and get that burden off of you, that sometimes help you leave the situation. You
That's
know?
true. That's true.
Instead of keeping it to yourself, it's like, okay, I've been faking it so long, I might as well continue. Nobody knows, so I can stay in this relationship. But then once you start sharing it and accepting and say, you know what, I'm done, it's like a burden is lifted off of you and you can walk away easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
It all depends, because sometimes you go and talk to someone
Mhm.
and then you just want an ear to make you comfort, but then they're gonna tell you things
Yeah.
that you really
don't
don't
wanna hear.
want to hear, and you don't need to hear, because you don't know if you and your husband are gonna make it. But because I listen to you, I'm
That's
not
true.
with my husband, and you probably the one with him, or somebody else is.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
understand what I'm saying?
And that's why I try to tell some people, sometimes you just want to vent. I don't always need you to respond back. Just let me get it off my chest. You know, just let
When
me
you
talk
go to
about it.
therapy.
Yeah, take
And
it
there's
to
nothing
the-
wrong with going to therapy, by the way.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong at all. Sarah, let's pull. Change it again. We like to keep it spicy, Joe. We like to keep it going. It is spicy. All of them intertwined back into the same thing some kind of way. We just love
How do you approach a man or woman that's deeply rooted in the church?
Go to church. I don't know. That's not gonna work.
Sometimes those words one.
I dated the preacher's son.
And they start hitting you with that, you're not equally yoked and all this
And
stuff.
No,
it's-
he was worse.
He was worse.
He was worse. He was worse than the average man out there.
I don't. If you're that deep into the church and you play drums every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, we don't have really a whole lot in common.
So it's just about what you're attracted to, what you have in common.
I mean,
You're not church going.
there's nothing wrong with what you do, but where you hang your time and how invested you are in the church, and how usually when people go to church and are in that vested, they feel like the congregation, and usually it is,
Mhm.
holds them to a different standard.
Mm.
So they can't just let their hair down and be funny, make mistakes, do all of that. Everything is so wound, so tight.
Mm.
So, at that point, we don't have a whole lot in common. So,
But it must be in a cult, because I don't know any kind of.
I had the opposite experience. I had
Why you getting on
first one can recite the Bible frontwards and backwards and was the biggest devil there is.
Mm.
Still love you. Second one was the son of a pastor and was just horrible. Well,
Very
not
nice one.
Oh God, we're stereotyping though when we say
It is
that. So for the
stereotyping.
person that put that in the box, if you're looking, like Sarah said, if y'all have nothing in common, then I don't know what to tell you. Do this person go to church and get her man? Try it out.
I think the person that put that in there, obviously goes to church. Obviously, his interest is in a man or a
That's
woman
when you
in
think
the
it's
church.
Right.
And they just don't know
How to approach them.
them, and if it's appropriate to approach them in that setting. So at that point, I mean, clearly you're gonna have to ask around and see where they hang out other than church, if you ain't comfortable with that, and.
That's where you fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
That's where you fake it till you make it.
You might have to fake the gym and just go to the gym. Hey, then we can have a conversation.
Okay, fake it until you make it.
Yeah, but you have so many churches that's actually faking just to make money in their pocket. I mean, the musicians, they don't even care about the Lord or the Bible. They gonna and give my paycheck. And then
But would you see it as a business though? This is just my job. This is not
that's how
me.
some of them see it. It's their job, and if it's actually a Christian person and believe in the Lord, and that person meant for them, guess what? It's gonna come to them. They don't have to ask anybody for anything.
I got a question, a rebuttal for that one.
I might get feedback on this, but remember now, church is a business.
Big time.
Big time.
Without offerings, it won't
It
stay
won't
afloat.
stay. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say. So am I wrong for saying, yeah, I'll see
Now, we might get some
you know,
feedback.
long as you pay me? That doesn't mean that I'm not a Christian. This is business. I'm getting this paycheck.
Just like
You know?
But
Oh,
you know,
I don't
you
know.
have to
I
tell
know we
people,
can't say that.
Why not?
We can't say it's a business deal for the pastor because he got this whole congregation that's out there
Right.
supposedly following his
Right.
lead or doing. No, that has to be his calling. That can't be a business for a
Exactly.
pastor. I'm sorry.
So you can.
Well, that church has.
Then I need to open up your church.
The light bills, yeah, and some pastors pastor, and they don't even get 10% of somebody's tithes, but they still got their door open and give them the word because they're concerned about people's souls.
Right.
and
Okay,
stuff.
but that's
That's
what
the one
anything
where
you
you
do.
lead.
You're gonna have your bad pastors that are there for profit. You're gonna have your good pastors that volunteer every Friday and pass out meals to the homeless. Like, I mean, I go to churches in Columbia that every Friday they're there. Somebody comes in strung up, he's setting them up with treatment. So you have your great pastors
Right.
that commit more than their time and energy into that, and it's a calling. You have your bad ones too. I mean, you can't say that.
I guess that's
not
what
all of
anything,
them are great.
any occupation, any.
Let me just clear this up right quick.
Sure.
Being a businessman, that's why I said about it's a business now. Whatever you believe, and I strongly believe in God myself.
Right.
But it is a business.
It's a business.
I
I feel it's a business all the way around. Now that pastor, that has to
He's
be.
the head of the business.
Oh, come on now. We gonna debate about this all day. There's no way now. There's no way you giving me the word and I'm believing in you and I'm coming to you for counseling and I'm passionate about what you're saying and I'm taking what you're saying and I'm living it out and you're not real? You just want a paycheck?
Well,
No.
the Bible do say don't believe in man, believe in God, right?
No.
I don't believe it.
So, but
The
the way
way
I
have
see
some
it is he's
that
doing it
it's
just
not real,
as
and some that's just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
what I'm saying.
If you look at it, you see some that the congregation pay for his house, pay for the rent or whatever, the utilities.
And that's probably because he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Everything. No.
No.
How many cars does Jesus has?
And one thing that I've always had an issue with is I have one of my
Right here, we all
friends
can do this.
always say, make sure she don't care, and she thought it was disgusting of me because I say I don't pay tithes. She would not go to church sometime, but she would make sure she paid her tithes. Okay? I'm not paying tithes. I don't go to your church. I'm not sending no money. My gift from God or whatever is when I'm able to help somebody out, regardless who it is, whoever may come in my presence and need my help, regardless if it's money or my time or a listening ear or a hug or whatever it is, I feel that I'm giving my gift by doing that. If they need to go shopping or if they need food, whatever I can give, that's why I'm helping to help that person. I should not have to pay, even if that's my last. You give 10% of whatever you have to the church. No, God ain't say be food.
But I guess that's so much for, is it more so burial purposes? You know, you'll have a space.
Our
church,
Okay.
today, our church is open whether you a member or not. To have
Exactly.
people there.
Okay,
So,
see,
it's
I
not-
see some churches are different.
And what you
Because
said
it's still
also
still
too about as far as not paying tax. See, when we all come together to agree in the anointing of everybody being together, that's what the church is for.
But
So then we all can get together. So in order to keep the church going, as with anything, your house,
Right.
the store, anything, you need
You
to
have
put
to
in.
put
money.
in.
But you didn't hear what I said.
Yeah.
She said that she found it to be disgusting because I don't pay any tithes. I don't go to her church. I don't go to church, period, because of my past experiences. I don't knock the next person for going to church. I have church within my house, but I feel as though you should treat everybody as you want to be treated. I try, if anybody need me, I'm there. But my issue is, I'm not going to sit in somebody's church, and like I said, from my past experiences, and you try to knock me down, but then after church, you're doing the same thing you just told me not to do. I have an issue with that. Because anybody to put their name, reverend, pastor, whatever, in front of it, before you do that, you automatically know there's a certain way of living.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. And see, but let me stop you right there. That's one of the things that they always tell me when I say that nobody is perfect. But however, before I put reverend or pastor or anything in front of my name, I'm going to try to make sure that I try to do right by people and everything before I do take that step to call myself trying to help somebody else. I look at church as being a hospital. All of us have made mistakes. Nobody is perfect. So if I decide to come in church and I'm going down to my knees asking for help or whatever, I should not have to look at you and you judging me or telling me what it is that you feel that I need to do instead of uplift me.
That's right.
Well, you exactly right on that.
Some people.
Did you want to
Only
say
God
something?
can judge you.
Exactly, but we have a lot of people in the church that feel that they can judge you.
Oh, no.
It's a lot of hypocrites.
Exactly.
It's a lot of hypocrites. But in the same token, it's, you know, that's the word. And what you're doing, you're actually a good student doing right by people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing right
You
by
have
people.
to. You have to.
And you have a different revelation one day of how you feel of what people judging you on.
Mhm.
So that's not for us to say.
No.
Right. And I mean, that's just in a nutshell, you have to do right by people. You just never know when you may need someone. You never know who you're going to run across in that job interview. And I just was nasty with you in the gas station for no reason, you know, and I'm rushing to get to this job interview, and boom, you're the person that's doing the interview. Well, you know, so you just never know who you may run across. It's no harm, and it's no hurt, it's no cost for being kind and generous to people. It costs you nothing. If we learn that today, we learn that. It costs you nothing to be kind. I mean, I just don't see how people could just be ugly. Did you want to say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna just piggyback on the church as a business. I know when I lost my grandmother, you know, she lived in New York for pretty much left her young, then came back. I guess you're supposed to rejoin the church. I don't know, but she was going every so often like she's supposed to. She passed away.
Mm-hmm.
The church, in order, all my family's buried there. They charged me to bury my grandmother there at the church. Then on top of that, my cousin was like, "Did you pay the preacher?" I didn't know I had to pay a preacher. I thought because they went to church that was, I don't know, maybe I don't know the etiquette or whatever, but it's just stuff like that, like pay the preacher. I was like, pay the preacher? I didn't know I had to pay a preacher to do that.
And that goes back to the business side. He got to live, you know.
Yeah.
He has to live some kind of way.
But that's traditional.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't even know
a lot of
that.
people still, you know, in tradition in the storefront churches. So I mean, the days we in now. I mean, when you pay the tithes or whatever, just like I had an aunt that was sick. They paid her doctor bill. They made sure she had therapy.
That's
You
the
know,
tithes in it,
yeah. So you know, you give and they give back.
Not all churches.
Yeah,
do
not
that.
all of them not church because they still stuck.
Yeah, they
in
still
tradition.
stuck.
Mhm, yeah, and so that you know, again, you know, you don't judge because my home church, which is a Baptist church, and I'm not Baptist because now I go to non-denomination because I had to go somewhere where I can feel something and feel the spirit instead of just sitting and I'm not getting anything.
Exactly.
So when I'm down, that I actually get lifted.
Exactly.
So I've been through a lot of things, and I know if it weren't for God, that I wouldn't be here. And so when I hear things, you know, and just like you, I understand where you're coming from, and when it's time for you to get to that point, you will.
That's right, say it.
Get to a point.
No, you get to the point where you say that I'm not going to, you know, pay tithes or whatever, and
No,
in the church.
Yeah, I'm not paying tithes to no church right now. I haven't found a church that I feel
Yeah,
comfortable
that's
in.
what
I was
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get to that point that
Yeah.
you will. Yes, ma'am.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I think this was a good discussion. That's it. Okay. So, anyone want to say? Everybody good? Okay, so that pretty much sums up our open discussion today. I appreciate everyone tuning in, and basically until next Sunday, toodles.